All right, let's talk about one of the absolute best parts of any trip to Brazil, the food. Today, we're going to build a super simple, practical guide so you can walk into any restaurant and order with total confidence. No stress, just delicious food. Okay, picture this. You're standing in a Brazilian restaurant. The smells are incredible, the menu is in your hand, and then that little bit of anxiety kicks in, right? You're thinking, what do I say? How do I actually get the food I want? We have all been there. But listen, that little moment of hesitation, it should not be the thing that stands between you and some of the most amazing food on the planet. Seriously, we're going to tackle this head on, and trust me, it's way easier than you think. So how are we going to solve this restaurant challenge? With a really powerful tool that language learners use all the time for real-life situations. It's called a conversation script, and it's all about actually communicating, not just, memorizing a bunch of random words. So what is a conversation script? Well, think of it like a playbook for a specific scenario. It's just a handful of key phrases you need to get through one situation from start to finish. The goal isn't to become a grammar genius overnight. Nope. It's all about communicating what you need clearly and effectively. That's really the heart of beginner-level language learning. Okay, you ready? Let's dive in. Our restaurant script has just 3 simple steps that follow the natural flow of any meal. First, we'll get a table. Second, we'll place the order. And third, we'll pay the bill. Let's break it down step by step.
All right, step 1, getting a table. This is what you do the second you walk through that door.
First things first, any great interaction starts with a simple, polite greeting. It seems small, but it makes a huge difference. So, depending on the time of day, you'll say bom dia in the morning, boa tarde for the afternoon, or boa noite for the evening. Easy enough, right? Okay, now for the key phrase. All you need to say is, uma mesa para dois, por favor, which just means a table for 2, please. And what's great is how easy it is to change. If you have 3 people, it's uma mesa para tres. 4 people, uma mesa para cuatro. See? Super simple. Okay, so you're at your table, you've been staring at that amazing menu. Now comes the best part, actually ordering all that delicious food. This next phrase, honestly, this is going to be your absolute best friend for ordering anything in Brazil. It's eu queria. It means I would like, and it's just the perfect, polite way to ask for whatever catches your eye on the menu. Now, I want to point out a small but really important detail here. You could say eu quero, which literally means I want. And yeah, it's grammatically correct. But in a restaurant setting, it can sound a little demanding, a little too direct. Sticking with eu queria is way more common, and it just sounds softer and more polite. It's the local way to do it. So, what kind of deliciousness can you order with this phrase? Oh man, how about a classic feijoada? That incredible bean and meat stew? Or maybe a sweet pastel de nata for dessert? And of course, it works for drinks too, like uma limonada, or just a simple café. So you can see how easy this is to build, right? It's like a formula. You start with eu queria, then you plug in the food you want, say uma feijoada, and then you tack on a polite por favor at the end. It's a simple plug-and-play sentence that just works every time. And you see that pattern? It really does work for everything. Want a lemonade? Eu queria uma limonada, por favor. Damn, you've got the structure. Now you just have to swap in whatever you're craving from the menu. All right, you've had an amazing meal, you're feeling full and happy. Now it's time to handle the bill. This is the final step in our script. And this one is super easy, short and sweet. To ask for the bill, you just get the waiter's attention and say, a conta, por favor. Simple as that. The bill, please. Okay, here's a really important cultural tip for when that bill arrives. You're probably going to see a line item called taxa de serviço. This is a 10% service charge that's usually included automatically. Basically, it's the standard tip, or gorjeta. Now, it's totally customary to pay it, everyone does, but it's just good to know that it's not technically, legally mandatory. And that's it. Just like that, you are totally ready to order. Let's do a quick recap of how these few simple phrases are all you need for an awesome meal out in Brazil. So let's pull it all together. Your whole script comes down to 3 key phrases. To get a table, it's uma mesa para, por favor. To place your order, it's eu queria, por favor. And to pay the bill, a conta, por favor. That's it. That's your complete toolkit for any restaurant in Brazil. See? You have the scripts now. You have the know-how, You can walk into that restaurant feeling confident, not anxious, knowing you can communicate and just focus on having a great meal. So I've got to ask, just to get you excited for your trip, now that you know exactly how to order, what's the first Brazilian dish you're going to get? Start dreaming about it now.